We got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, as the Chicago Bears have added yet another piece to this defense. They have added linebacker Devin Bush to the team. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Another solid signing that addresses an issue that the Chicago Bears had at the linebacker position. One that we thought, listen, maybe they're going to go out there and the goal is going to be, draft linebacker. And not to say that you still can't go out there and do it, but now with this signing, 3-year, $30 million deal, very, very good contract for a guy like this right here. I would think that you're feeling pretty good at linebacker with DeMarco Jackson and, of course, TJ Edwards coming back, who you just paid a little while ago at that linebacker position. Now it's all about getting the defensive line done. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this one. Again, when I look at what Devin Bush brings to the team, where I feel like his strengths is something that the Bears did struggle at in times, right? That pass pro. When you talk about what he was able to do in 2025, when you talk about kind of the role that he played there, he was a guy who, I said pass pro, pass defense there. He was a guy who has big speed, can get around, move around fast, can be in the right position to get to the ball. He had 90+ total tackles, had 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, had a ton of quarterback pressures as well, and was really good in covering running backs and really good in covering tight ends. That's where you want him at. And I think that's something that, again, is it a splash signing? Is it an oh my God signing? Is it a you had to get this done kind of deal? No, it's not crazy work for the Chicago Bears here getting this move done, but what it does do is it addresses that need that you had in pass coverage. He's somebody who also can be solid for you in the run coverage. Now, size-wise is very interesting, and I've checked a couple of sites on this. The reason he's fast, 5'11", 243 pounds at 27 years old here. You're going to need defensive line help, which means, again, it's something that we expected the Chicago Bears to address via the draft. But my goodness, I think that this is a good move for the Bears here. Just, again, go look at the tape. Take a look at what you're seeing, but some of the PFF numbers there. Overall grade 87.6. He does have a solid run defense grade of 87.3. Again, solid defensive line though in Cleveland, where he's coming from here. So that helps a lot. 68.7 pass rush grade, and then a coverage grade of 80.4. So a really highly graded linebacker. Again, pair that up with what you're seeing at the linebacker position. This is the kind of guy that Dennis Allen feels fits his defense and is going to be somebody who can go out there and make an impact as far as speed on the game. And here's the part that I love, right? Because we had speed. Ruben Hippolyte is speed. Noah Sewell is speed. You got to hit the guy. You have to make tackles. Bottom line, I don't care how fast you are, if you run clean past the guy who you need to stop. I look at this and I see a guy who not only is fast as all get out, top 30 in the NFL in solo tackles among linebackers, but also hits the guy when he shows up. And when you watch him on tape, I know this is something that we haven't seen a ton here in Chicago, and I'm excited to see it now. Falls the right way when he tackles, doesn't go the wrong direction, which is impressive at the size that he is at. Like I said, 5'11", 234, but I wouldn't say, a big thumper. I wouldn't say somebody who's going to light you up, but somebody who always is around the field, always finds himself around the ball, does a great job of keeping an eye on the running back. I think that this is a great get here, and I love Baki's point on this one. It's kind of where I was going next. Bears cut Tremaine Edmonds and save $15 million, signed DeMarco Jackson for $3.75 million here, and signed Devin Bush for $10 million. Chicago got 2 starters at linebacker for less than what Edmonds would have cost for 2026 alone. Again, remember, this is kind of the same conversation we had when you went out and got Roquan Smith and you were able to add a guy like TJ Edwards in here. I know that this is, again, not the signing that you're going to look at and go, oh my God, this is the splash signing here. This is the big name signing. This is the thing that you had to get done. But it's a signing that makes sense for the defense that you are trying to build. And I think it's just a team that has found a way to get younger at certain positions, to get faster at certain positions. And we know that that's how Dennis Allen wants to play. He wants a defense that, and on top of that, I think the IQ has improved at certain positions. That's the bottom line for me. I don't care how fast you are if you run past the guy. Can you play fast and play smart? Can you play fast and know where you're supposed to be before the running back knows where he's supposed to be? That's what I like that we're seeing here. Now, what does this tell us about what's going to happen via the draft? More than likely, you're going to see the Chicago Bears invest heavily in this defensive line. Don't think for a second that just because you've got a motivated Dio Adangbo, that all of a sudden defense that he's going to turn into this monster this year. Listen, we saw him for 8 games this season when he was healthy. He wasn't very good at football. Yeah, I mean, like that's the bottom line. He wasn't very good at football. So you need to address that position. Shamar Turner, we didn't get to see a ton of, but you want to see him take a step up. But these are not names. I feel like you feel like Shamar Turner could be solid. We know Javon Dexter is solid. We know that Gallman that we just got today is solid. We know that Montez Sweat is solid. You're going to be investing heavily in the defensive line via the draft. And I think that those are the biggest things when you see these moves here defensively that stand out for the Chicago Bears for me. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. If you have not hit that thumbs up, man, hit that thumbs up. We are already over 100 in a chat, over 200 in a chat, over 300 in a chat, 300. I think this is a solid move by the Chicago Bears. I really do. And I'm going to be honest with you, as crazy as it seems, maybe even a little bit more than solid. Maybe even a little bit more than solid. I love the fact that you're getting younger. I love the fact that you're going to see the speed on this team, but it's the knowledge, bro. The knowledge that you have to play that position, right? And Bush has played outside. Bush has played middle, so you can kind of see where you want to slot these guys in. But DeMarco Jackson, a guy that doesn't miss tackles, knows where to be, gets guys to the ground. Devin Bush, a guy that doesn't miss tackles, knows where to be, gets guys to the ground, does a really good job in pass coverage. Why am I blanking? Not Tremaine Edmonds. TJ Edwards, right? Another guy knows where to be, gets guys to the ground. You've got 3 linebackers on your team where, yes, you do have that speed that you've talked about. We do have, those guys that can move quickly, but you got guys that can play quickly. You can run a 4-4 and not know where to go. I think that's the part that I love about this move. And to me, I think that's why this is going to be a really solid move for the Chicago Bears moving forward. Again, I would love to see the next move. I'd love to see here one more sign and get a Taylor Decker done. Find a way to get a Taylor Decker done. Would hope that he ends up going to the Chicago Bears after asking for his release. Would hope that you can find a way to get that contract worked out with him. I think that's the final piece in the coffin, and you would feel really, really good moving forward here with what you have done this offseason. As far as free agency, again, when you win and you're one of those final teams that's there, one of those final 6 teams that's there, you're not making a ton of splash moves. By the way, speaking of splash moves, and I can't confirm this, Rich Eisen said it, so I'm going to assume that Rich Eisen, a veteran in the game, had somebody vet this. But it does seem like the claim that 2 first-round picks were offered from the Chicago Bears might be Rich Eisen getting feraled. If you guys don't know, there's a guy on Twitter named Adam Farrell, who literally Adam Farrell, NFL. He has all of these things, host of Adam Bomb, host of Inside the Offseason with Adam Farrell, turn on notifications for NFL parody updates. He kind of got excited at the end where he says, Rich Eisen, you've gotten the atom bomb yet again. So I'm starting to seriously question if Ryan Poles did end up going out and offering 2 first-round picks. I would probably lean towards he did not offer 2 first-round picks. I know we had talked about that in the first video there, but if it is in fact that he got Farrell bombed, I'm hoping that Rich vetted this, but sometimes, guys, right, it sneaks through the cracks and you throw it up on the screen and everybody doesn't read the bio all the way through because you're doing a lot that day. You're doing a lot that day. Let me know how you guys feel about the Devin Bush signing, man. Shout out to you guys as always. Noah King said the Devin Bush move was a smart move by the Chicago Bears here. What do we know? Jones Wavy said Poles is cooking, getting younger and cheaper. Yeah, listen, that's the bottom line of all of this. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line of all of this. Your goal is to find ways to get younger, to find players that can be solid in your system. I think that when you look at Devin Bush, when you look at Kobe Bryant, when you look at Gallman, right? Like, these are solid pieces. Now, Kobe Bryant may be a little more than solid, actually. I mean, actually, I'd say that back. Kobe Bryant's a dog. That's a great get. Devin Bush, really good get. Gallman, solid get. The bottom line that I love with all of this is there 3 guys that you bring in that do their job very well at a baseline and then can add on top of that. Now you got to make their lives easier. Now it's up to Ryan Poles to make their lives easier. Are you surprised that Trey is still sitting out there? No. Because I said it on the first breaking news video, when your price is too high for Dallas, who was seemingly willing to pay a heavy price for Trey Hendrickson. I'm sorry, for Max Crosby, but wasn't willing to go the extra mile there. Trey would be the perfect backup plan there. When your price is too high for them, what are you asking for? I'm assuming he's still sitting around 30 M's thinking that that's what he's going to get out here on the free market. And most of the teams are probably looking at that and saying, listen, buddy, whether it's because of the Bengals that sat you last year or you actually were hurt, you didn't play football last year. I'm not giving you the baggy bag for not playing football next year. It's not what did you do in the past? It's what have you done for me lately? So I'm not surprised at all that Trey Hendrickson is still sitting out there. I would assume that price is probably going to have to come down to around 23 to 25 million for Trey Hendrickson before anybody goes out there and tries to really get him in the building. Tyler says, can we waive Dio with injury settlement and recoup money? No, Dio's going to be here, guys. There is no getting rid of Dio. Dio is going to be here. We got 4 great players for a little more than Linderbaum. Bro, did y'all see the Linderbaum contract? Oh my God. That's how you reset a market. It's so funny because, like, as every center went down, right? Everybody that we were like, we'd love to see us get this guy. We'd love to see us get this guy. We'd love to see us get this guy. As every one of them went down and you saw the contracts start to add in, you were just like, I'm kind of good with Baumgartner. I'm kind of good with Garrett. Say Baumgartner, Bradbury, right? Garrett Bradbury. Where'd I go? Baumgartner. I'm kind of good with Bradbury. Listen, I want a great center, and I hope that the Bears still draft one at some point in this draft. But bottom line, didn't give up sacks, didn't give up a ton of pressures, and didn't have penalties. I'm okay. I'm okay, bro. Now, for the Raiders, I think it makes a ton of sense. You have a ton of cap space for you to work with there. You have a new quarterback more than likely coming in that is a young piece. You've got a running back that you invested in heavily last year. Makes sense for you to go out and spend the kind of money that you did. But for the Bears to get in on 27 million, GG's. GG's. I was cool at around like 23 to 25. Hey, we had that conversation. 27 million? Whoo! Or no, what was it? They said 4-year, $80 million deal. So it would have been around $20 million. 27. That boy got the bag. What do we got? What else we got? Yeah, remember me? A live call talking about the exact issue, why that was not going to happen as a non-starter? No, I don't. Devin Bush is a good pickup. Yeah. Devin Bush, really good pickup for the Chicago Bears. Devin Bush, really good pickup for the Chicago Bears. I think this is one of those that you feel like Ryan Poles maybe cooking a little bit there. No, I know that he got 3 years, $81 million. I know PFF had projected 4 years, $80 million was going to be the deal, and I was like, okay, $20 million for a center, I'm okay with that. $20 million, I can live with that. You're resetting the market. You know what I mean? I didn't think he was like resetting the market by $9 million. Crazy work. Hey, over 400 in the chat. Over 500 in the chat. 500. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Again, talking about what's next, I'm really looking forward to what hopefully will be the Chicago Bears are signing Taylor Decker. I'm trying to stay on here so I don't have to hop off and then hop back on here. Albert Breer dropping some context to the Kobe Bryant deal, said new Bears safety Kobe Bryant 3-year $40 million deal has a $12 million signing bonus and a $14 million and $14 million in cash in 2026. His $12.25 million base for 2027 is fully guaranteed. A nice payday for the converted corner. Yeah, listen, a corner turned safety who really made a difference. And I'll tell you what, watching his tape, as soon as we got off of the live, I immediately go back and I start watching some tape on this kid. And of course you see him throughout the year, but just focusing in on him. I mean, when you talk about a player that can read and react, that's the most important thing at safety, right? Read what the quarterback is doing, react, and then be explosive off of what you're seeing to get to the play. He comes to balance so well. He is explosive with his first step. No wasted movements. The Bears got a dog in Kobe Bryant. The Bears got an absolute dog in Kobe Bryant. Baki said, Pat, check Twitter. What do we got? What do we got, Baki? Or is that what you were telling me that we had? Okay, so same thing. Kobe Bryant, $40 million deal, $25 million guaranteed, $12 million signing bonus, salaries at 1.5, 12.5, and 11.75 per game, active roster bonuses totaling up to 1.36 million over the course of the deal, $500K, fifth day, 2028 league year roster bonus. So a lot of the bonuses and things that are thrown in there as well. But yeah, no, listen, I think this is a great deal. That's a great deal for the Bears. How it's structured, how they've worked it out. You're getting some of the bonuses in there as well. Neville Gilmore's 2-year deal, $5 million guaranteed, $3 million signing bonus, and salaries $2 million guaranteed, $3.75 million signing bonus or contract there. Per game active roster bonus is up to $850K over the total length of the deal, $375K on the fifth day of 2027 league year roster bonus, $1 million in playtime, playoff 2027 escalator. So if the Bears make the playoffs, he gets a little bit of extra money. Max average per year $6 million, max value $12 million. So at most he's going to make $12 million off of the deal. Listen, you have to put pieces around these guys. I love the deal that we're talking about here for Kobe Bryant. I love the deal that we're talking about here for Neville Gilmore. But can't stop there. The draft is so important right now. The draft is so important right now. You're going all in and saying, we see the pieces that we need in the draft. That's fine. I'm here for that. Let's do it. I'm here for that. But signing Kobe Bryant, signing Devin Bush doesn't mean nothing if you can't pressure the quarterback. You have to be able to create that pressure on the quarterback. Neville Gallimore helps with that. He helps with that. He does. He is a really good pass rusher. Not that great in the run game. He's fine. But he's a good pass rusher. That can't be the bottom line. A little bit of news here as well. Former defensive end Dominique Robinson heading to Houston on a one-year deal worth up to $4 million. So Dom Rob will not be back with the team. Remember, he came in as a, what was he? He was a safety converted to, no, he was a quarterback converted to running back, converted to linebacker, converted to defensive end in college. I think those are all the conversions that he had. Shout out to him for getting, was he tight end? He had so many conversions. Shout out to him for getting the bag. I hope that he goes down there and balls out. Hope he learns in that defense and hope he plays well. I thought he showed some really solid flashes for the Bears this year. But again, somebody who Dennis Allen is going through and basically saying, you know, we don't need the pieces that we had here before. We're building new pieces. We're building this defense from the ground up. I like that. I like that. The question marks that we've seen, the question marks that we've had on so many of these players for 4 years. Hey, we're starting new. And we're building my defense the way I want it to look. I had to call the defense last year, and it was not what I wanted it to be. This year, we're not going to have that problem. I love how DA is operating right now. Over 500 in the chat. 500. Over 600 in the chat. 600. Let's get over 600 likes on the video, man. Shout out to you guys for tuning in and showing love. Bottom line here, Dennis Allen. Listen. You got to give Ryan Poles his credit. I give Ryan Poles a ton of credit for getting these done. I do. I give Ryan Poles a ton of credit for getting these deals done. But you see the difference when you have, to me, football eyes on the situation. Matt Eberflus ain't football eyes. Matt Eberflus can call a defense. I'm not going to say he can't call a defense. You give him pieces, he can call a defense, he's fine. That's why he's the defensive assistant to that or whatever, right? Like whatever they named him, defensive assistant head coach. I don't know what the heck that means. They gave him a job. Sounds like when they made, what was it? When they made Pat Riley the what his title did they give him when he took over as head coach of the Lakers? It was like they made Jerry West the assistant to the head coach. He's fine. But he can't evaluate what's talent and what's not talent on the field. It really feels like this offseason, we are seeing talent come to Chicago because you've got a much better set of eyes on this team here. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Chi-Town Transit said, dang it, we live again. Hey, third live of the day, baby. Third live of the day. Bears go out and they get Devin Bush, trying to see if any more deals end up getting done here before I hop off. Of course, like I said, when news breaks, we're going back live. So don't worry if I do hop off and some news breaks, we will jump back on the live here. Of course, we'll be live tonight with the boys in the building. I believe Mr. Drew Better will be here. Of course, Mr. Meady will be here. Ringo will be in the building as well. So we'll have just about a full slate of the team in the building, man. I'm loving what we're seeing out of the Chicago Bears here. It just comes down to how they finish this thing off. What do we got? Shout out to y'all in the comments as well, man. V-Dog said, hey, Pat Shefty just said on NFL Live, we're still in play for trade. Don't rule it out just yet. Listen, if the price comes down, and drop a bear down in the chat for what we're seeing this offseason right now. If the price comes down, I don't mind going to get Trey Hendrickson. But when you hear that he's too expensive for some of the teams that are willing to go out there and spend money, yeah, that's an answer. Yeah, that's a conversation that you can have, but it can't be the end all be all. By the way, you're spending a ton of money here already. Are you going to go out and get are you going to restructure Montez Sweat's contract? Are you going to extend Cole Kmet and try and lower that number so that you get some more money on the books for yourselves, right? Like there's all these things that you can do to add more money, but you have to be able to go out there and have the money for Trey Hendrickson and have it make sense. I love what Trey can bring to the team, but Trey's not a $30 million player anymore, at least based off of what we saw last season. Does that mean that he can't play at that level? Sure. But you saw a guy last year, if you want to bring him in, who played 7 games and through those 7 games had 4 sacks. Is that Trey Hendrickson beginning to decline, or is that the Bengals defense just sucked and he was banged up? Either way, you got to ask those questions. Is that a $30 million player? I don't think so. I don't think so. To me, you want to talk about 20, you want to talk about 22, you want to talk about 25. 25, we're pushing it. But you can't look at what he did last season and say, that's the guy that you want to see him. That's the guy that you want to go out and get for $30 million. Not in my world. Tremaine to the Giants. Oh, they end up getting Tremaine Edmonds anyway. Shout out to Ringo. Ringo's Giants doing some good things out here. Ringo's Giants out here doing some good things. The biggest problem, it's so funny, right? I tweeted this out earlier. I said, there's a lot of teams around the league making some really good moves, like really good moves. I feel like there's a lot of teams cooking this offseason. I really do. But it's kind of funny because it's like, now everybody's operating so logically, but there's some of these teams where it's like the Giants, great move. But is Daniel Jones going to be concussed in 55% of his games next season? That's a massive question. I love what the Panthers have done in free agency. But is Bryce Young going to be a good quarterback? Like there's so many of these teams where it's like solid move, solid move, solid move. But then it's like, thank God we got the quarterback. That's what's got me excited here. Bears, solid move. Bears, Devin Bush, solid move. Kobe Bryant, solid move. But also I got the quarterback on the other side to help me off. And so I'm excited about that. Who did I say? Daniel Jones. Yeah, I meant Jackson Dart. I said Daniel Jones. I meant Jackson Dart. Like, I feel good about the moves the Bears are making because I'm not looking for a quarterback. I'm going into the next year with my answer at quarterback and at receiver and at defense or at tight end. And now I'm getting answers on defense, and I feel good about that. Former Ravens tight end Charlie Kolar is signing a 3-year, $24 million deal, including $17 million guaranteed per his agent. With who, Baki? With the Bears? Titans are signing Broncos free agent defensive lineman John Franklin Myers to a 3-year, $63 million deal. I'm okay that we avoided that. I know a lot of people talked about Franklin Myers as a guy. I'm okay that we avoided that. Because to me, when I see Franklin Myers, doesn't he remind you of Montez, like at the DT position? Oh, Chargers. Okay, Chargers. Okay, cool. Like, he's fine. Franklin Myers is fine. Solid player. But 63 million for fine is a lot of. You got to be bad for 63 million. $42 million guaranteed. Ugh, I'm good. I'm good. And I think that's what's so interesting, right? And it's why I say, let's see how things play out. Let's see what happens, right? We lose our minds. We overreact. Oh God, how did we miss that? Everybody was freaking out about where the Bears trading for Bradbury. And then you saw the center market hit and you went, oh yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to pay those guys either. Everybody freaking out. Why aren't we going to get the defensive lineman? Now you're seeing what some of these guys are going, you're going, I'm okay. I'm all right there. I see Dio tweeting, Pat, that he feels motivated. How about feeling productive? Listen, Dio, I lean on the experts on that. Yurko played defensive line in this league for 8 years or 10 years. I lean on the guys that have been on that defensive side of the ball. There's a lot of pros that I've talked to that look at Dio. Nobody would accuse him of not playing hard. Nobody would accuse him of not playing motivated. What they accuse him of is not getting to the quarterback. That's what you accuse him of. He doesn't get to the quarterback. He doesn't do what you paid him to do. Give it one more go over here to see if any more news drops. If not, I'm going to hop off. Like I said, we'll be back on live for any new news. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Yeah, Giants are signing standout linebacker Tremaine Edmonds to a 3-year, $36 million deal with $23 million fully guaranteed. Sources tell Mike Garofalo. Okay, yeah. Heading to the Giants. Charlie Kohler got $63 million with $42 million guaranteed. All right. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. We'll be back on later, of course, with the crew at some point, but later for any news that breaks. Bear down. One love. Drop a bear down in the comments below. Peace.